there have been a bunch of visual novels I've been meaning to review, but it's just been a while, so I don't remember a lot of details. So I figured I could talk about them in a video series I'm going to call Ange's Visual Novel Quick Recommendations. The idea is I like all of these visual novels and would like to recommend them to people in 3 to 5 minutes or less. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Ultimate Boob Wars, developed by Soft House Seal Grandee and translated by Manga Gamer. I'm not usually a fan of Nukige, but this visual novel is one of the few that I read and definitely enjoyed. So what sticks out about it to me? Well, I just thought the premise was ridiculously hilarious. The visual novel starts off with a goofy quick prologue into why there's a war between a clan of small breasts and big breasts people. Apparently there was some fight between deity dragons or something that represent the different sizes, and that was what caused a literal rift the visual novel hilariously calls the cleavage field, separating the two halves of the world. Speaking of, the world is shaped like a pair of breasts. The world has a constant war between the two sides fighting for, I guess, which they consider the superior side. There's even a minor, oppressed, average-sized breast clan who have to stick to an isolated village, the cherry on top for hilarity. Enter the main protagonist, Haruto, who is a self-proclaimed lover of all sizes. He's able to get 2 companions with him, one from the big breast side and one from the small breast side. He feels like a much more toned-down version of Rance, but still pretty crude, very open about his sexual preferences. As you can tell by my overview, this visual novel does not take itself seriously at all. In fact, I go as far as to say this visual novel is actually pretty funny, all things considered. The high amount of H scenes aside, I actually thought the stick-out part of this visual novel was how goofy the premise was and the general goofy tone. The visual novel does occasionally have its wholesome moments, and I guess its romance exists, but I mostly enjoyed reading it for the comedy. While Haruto's main 2 companions are implied to be the true heroines, they're definitely not the only heroines in Ultimate Boob Wars. A common feature in nukiges is after you read about maybe 30 to 60 minutes, which I guess is the common route at the beginning, you immediately get the ability to choose which heroine route you want to continue on through a character select screen. Choosing a girl gets you an H scene for that heroine and gets you 1 affection point closer to getting their ending. You get to do this on a map, and unfortunately, not all heroines are available on every character select screen, so sometimes you just have to choose someone else before the heroine you want is available. Speaking of which, there are 6 main heroines, and each of them have 9 H scenes each. There's also 3 side characters with 1 to 3 H scenes each. And then there's a small handful of threesome or even foursome H scenes. If all this sexual content bothers you, don't even think about picking up this visual novel, even if you think it might be funny. Very quickly go over the main heroines. Milfa is kind of like Syl from the Rance series. Very cheerful, soft-hearted, and submissive, always willing to be Haruto's instant gratification, especially since she was ordered to by the breast deities. Iris is kind of the typical blonde lolly tsundere with some character depth. Estrella is a princess of the big breast clan, and while charismatic on the outside, has a hard sadist streak on the inside. Kotene is the only heroine from the oppressed average breast clan, and Haruto's younger sister, with a hard-working yet feminine personality. Nico is technically from the flat tribe, but has big breasts, and as well as some Kenomimi or animal girl traits, a wolf fox mama, and is generally scared of humans. Chocolat is somehow a chuuni in a universe with fantasy action. She's also kind of an idiot and reminds me of Aqua from Konosuba. To me, Ultimate Boob Wars is only recommended for 2 reasons. You're either heavily entertained by the concept of a world of big and small breast clans fighting each other, or you're a Nukige fan who likes at least one of the main heroines. If either applies to you, I would recommend it, but just keep in mind you can only buy it from Manga Gamer's store. If you have any questions or comments about Ultimate Boob Wars or this video, feel free to leave a comment below.